If you've ever used a car or a house or a building, you've used something called steel. And this right here is steel making coal, a critical ingredient to make steel. Today, we are at the Olive Downs complex here in Queensland, Australia. We're gonna show you how they get it. Welcome to what may be the finest mining operation I've ever visited. Pembroke's Olive Downs complex, located in Queensland, Australia's Bowen Basin. What could be Australia's last new steelmaking coal mine, Pembroke is starting with a blank slate, and they're seizing the opportunity to lead the industry across the board. We first visited the operation via TEAS in April of 2023 as they were commissioning their new fleet and developing the mine's infrastructure. Now we're back in 2024 to see the mine in a fully operational capacity. It has everything from autonomous trucks, a beautiful loadout facility, and even a koala sanctuary. It's worth noting this is the best access to a large-scale mining operation I've ever had. So buckle up because we're taking you with us. To kick things off, let's visit the koalas.
Have you met Mel before?
No. Hi there. Great to meet you. Aaron Witt.
Hello. With koala, given that the koala and greater glider are such precious species of Australia, and they were threatened, now they're endangered. They conditioned us and said, okay, you've got to spend $1 million over 10 years on the koala. We probably spent $1 million in the first 3 months, right? So our philosophy is we're not just there to tick a box, we're there to do something net positive. So the program that Mel envisaged was what we call now the ICON initiative, which is to research, preserve and protect. So fundamental to it all is the research program, where we're feeding in cutting edge real research into the habits of koalas and greater gliders back to the greater scientific community. No one's ever researched greater gliders, which we can show you before, these possums that flow, flying squirrels.
Okay.
They glide down with these incredible membranes,
We do a number of surveys, and then when we come into the area, we do what we call the three-phased approach to disturbing an area of land. The first phase is the koala drone surveys. So Ben and his team go out with infrared drones of a night time, and they can locate every koala in a certain area that we designate, and they will mark out those guys, and they will set up traps at the bottom of the trees. And once the koalas come down, they capture those koalas and they bring them here for health checks. So they get full health checks by our veterinary team in here, and then they will receive a tracker or a collar, and we actually put them back exactly where we found them, in the same tree that we found them in.
That was the koala health check. That koala in there will be released back into the exact same tree she was caught this morning, and now back to the main programming.
Aaron, basically 3,653 days ago I started Pembroke, and the idea was to create a brand new steelmaking coal mine in the Bowen Basin, the best basin in the world for steelmaking coal. And here we are today. We did our opening on Friday, official opening. We've been mining or moving dirt here since June last year, and we've been shipping coal since January this year. And this is it. It's currently producing 6 million tonnes run of mine. It is implementing brand new technology with automation. So you've got automated trucks, Caterpillar 794 and 793 autonomy. Started from day one. You've got all the very best excavators, the Lee Bears, 29800s, 29600s, 29400s. And this is the beginning of what is a very long and large mine. It'll go up to 20 million tonnes per annum. It'll go for 79 years. It'll rehabilitate quickly. It'll set new standards in environmental management as well.
And this is all steelmaking coal?
All steelmaking coal. There's small byproduct, but it is steelmaking coal. It is a hard coking coal.
Okay. The first step to the actual coal mining process here at Olive Downs is moving the overburden, which is behind me, that brown stuff. And then they have to move all of that brown overburden. So they've stripped the topsoil, they've saved that for the reclamation. They've removed that softer brown material, and now we're down to the harder rock. That's when the 3 autonomous drills here they have on site will take over, drill all of the holes necessary for the blasting. Speaking of blasting, we got word it was time for a shot, so we headed out of the pit.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 3, 2, flying now.
With the blast over, let's get back to the action. Here's what we're after, the steel making coal. After the coal is exposed, it's loaded into trucks with Liebherr excavators. That's a 9400 behind me loading an autonomous 793. If you look closely, there's no one in that cab. From here, it goes by haul road up to the plant for the next step. As the Olive Downs complex is a new mine, they designed the entire operation with the automation in mind. Let's check out the command center, the brain behind it all. The 3 drills we saw out in the pit are run here from this chair. You just need one of these operator stations, one operator for all 3 drills. The drills are autonomous, so if it's sitting in a row of 20, it can go drill all of those without any input from the operator. The operator then just moves the drill over to the next row, and then the drill continues. So this operator here can sit here all day, manage 3 drills from out in the field with no dramas. The only reason they're not here right now is because the drills are being worked on. As you can see, Jack, if you look behind you, via that video feed, that drill is clearly not drilling right now. Pretty sweet.
In this location here is the autonomous control room for the Pembroke Olive Downs complex operation. The area that in this area is where we are running the autonomous trucks that are out in the field using the Caterpillar MineStar system. For example, on some of the screens now, we can see truck data, trucks moving, where they're traversing across the mine out there, what the trucks are doing, their permissions, where they're en route to. All that is visible through the different screens throughout the control room.
So the main input is you have to build the routes that the truck will drive on.
Yeah, so everything that is out there in the mine, so once we go through the gate, obviously the mine is very active.
Yeah.
Everything that is out there, whether it's a road, a bund, an edge of a dump, is all surveyed by people on the ground. That comes into here, it gets built as a mine model, and we get all the lanes and all the dumps set up, and then all that data is then relayed back into the truck computer system. So we obviously know where the trucks are going, and they know what's out there in the field. So keep it real. So there's I suppose is the key terminology is whatever's out there has to be represented here, because we're the eyes of the trucks.
Sure.
So yeah, we build that daily, and it continues to change throughout the shift.
And then once the trucks are going, the trucks are driving themselves.
Yeah, trucks are all driverless. There's no one in the truck. It's all done by themselves, and just this room here itself will control the whole operation out there.
So there's 21 trucks?
Yeah, over 21 trucks now running autonomously out there in the complex. Yep.
Wow. After having our minds blown with the tour of their command center, we headed to the last step, the plant and train loadout. This is the downstream side of the process. We've mined the coal from different seams in the pit. We've trucked it up here. Teese is dumping into that crusher that's sizing the coal. They're dumping at least 800 tons per hour into the system. It travels by conveyor belt into that storage hopper there that's feeding it at a consistent rate into the plant. The plant's job, thanks to some different processes and physics and complicated stuff, the plant's job is to separate the coking coal, which is the main product here, from the thermal coal, which is a secondary product, and the really fine stuff that they reject and then will eventually bury back in the pit and then cover it with material that they'll eventually reclaim. We have trucks, Teese trucks getting loaded with the pure rejects that's then going back into the pit that they're hauling back with them. The coking coal is the really good stuff. That's with the D11 up there. That's that finished product. And then we have that secondary product, which is the thermal coal. This is where the Olive Downs complex story starts to conclude, where they load out the steelmaking coal into the rail carriages. This train pulling in right now, going around the loop, coming back to the silo is 126 cars. Over 10,000 tons of coal will be in this train by the time it's fully loaded, headed to the port. They load 1 to 2 of these every single day of the year, and will continue to load even more as they ramp up production here. From here, it heads over 100 kilometers to the port, where it's then loaded on ships, and those ships then go to the end consumer, the steel making companies that will use this steel making coal. They'll turn it into coke, and then they'll use that to melt down iron ore to make a critical material that humanity could not live without. A huge thank you to the folks at Pembroke and the Olive Downs complex for having us out. The access was incredible. We had an amazing time from 9800 to Koalas. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay dirty.